This one here is an award that was hard. It was something that we wanted to come up with. It's Baller of the Year. And we've had a lot of players. I mean, the thing is that all the awards that we name players after are players from the past. Players from the past, and who were a big part of the foundation of our program. And that's how it came about. And then, but when we started thinking about this type of award, couldn't really think of anybody else better than Tony Wolters. Oh. And I think, I know these guys over here know that they played with Tony. Right? I mean, they followed Tony anywhere. Tony had them do some stupid stuff. Tony was the smallest guy in the team. Tony was, he was at the time. This is the thing I remember. I think it was his freshman sophomore year, and we're playing in Sunday, and he tells me this, man, I want to play pro baseball. And Tony was one of these guys that used to get mad, goes bad, just get frustrated, get upset, and you get upset and about big stupid things, because well, I want to play pro ball. What do I got to do? Well, so what we did, so Tony is, okay, this is what you got to do. You're small. He said, at the time, I think it was like 5'6", 5'7", and about 130, 140 pounds at the time. Okay, you're small, so this is what you got to do. You got to play all the time. You got to be the first guy on the field, first guy off the field. You got to run hard. You got to show that you're having fun. You got to show you enjoy. You can't back down anything, because the pro guys are going to be looking at you, and they're going to look at you and say you're strong enough to play or not. And if you don't do something, they're going to think you're not strong enough, because you got to prove the professional baseball scouts that you're strong enough to play professional baseball. And that's the thing when it comes to playing pro ball. We're talking players. A lot of times guys don't do things, but you got to do it all the time. It's the toughest thing to do is to play professional baseball, because it is every day. And when they go when they go to the golf league or the Arizona Fall League, they get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. They have to field every day, 6 days a week, and it is tough. And they do it all the time. They do it all through the summer, and it is hard to do because it's a discipline they have to do every day. And Tony, if you can't do it, you won't have that chance because you're small, and I don't think you're going to get much bigger than you are. And he goes, okay, all right, okay. I never said it again, and then he did it. And the thing that I've seen, when you ever tell players, all the players I've ever had, you tell them one time, one thing, and they do it, you never say it again, then you got a player. You got a special player. And this is what we do. We used to time him running first base, and he wanted the time. And so he'd run first base, and we'd get time, and give him time. It got to the point where, God, he's bugging the crap out of me, and I forget, so I make him a time. So I if he was in a good mood, if he was in a real good mood, I would give him a slow time. So if he was in a good mood, I'd give him a slow time. Because I wanted to test himself as far as his anger issues that he was having. And he had some anger issues. Believe me, because scout ball, the guys who play scout ball, you guys know what I'm talking about. You get a guy who walks, he doesn't walk, you put a guy in first base, you get 5 batters, the guy steals base. Well, Tony would be the guy who'd run out there and want to steal, and one day he'd probably get thrown out 12 to 15 times. It was unbelievable. He would get thrown out, but he would go out there and come in, he'd be depressed. But as he kept doing it, he kept pushing himself. And then as he pushed himself and he kept going, you could see him develop. And he got to the point where, man, this guy, he's going to be really good. And then what it was, he had something about him that he was the smallest guy on the team, but everybody looked up to him and he followed Tony. Hey, Tony, what are we going to do? We're going to do this. We're going to go, and this guy, he got Travis Harrison tried to drink a whole gallon of milk. Yeah, and he better could do it. And he got Peter Tago over here, and it was David Armendariz to go play a joke on these College Astros, and that was one of the funniest things I've seen. And this story here, what he did is he goes to Peter, he'll say, Peter, I'll give you $10 to go there and get you're the catcher over there. And what it was, they had a guy from East Cobb Astros, and he was doing some dry ground work where he was kind of going, but he wasn't throwing the ball. He was just kind of going through it. And then he goes, oh, you'll give me $10? And he goes, no, you're going to do it. He goes, well, Peter's going to do it because Peter at the time has no money. So he needs $10, all right? So he needs $10. So he goes down the left field line and he starts jogging down out there. And then David Armendariz goes, man, I'm going to be the umpire. So then he sprints across, but I'm going to be the batter. He sprints across, goes all the way down, and they go down to the right field line and they start stretching out, and the guy's getting ready to do his motion and he throws. And then Peter sits down as the catcher, and then Armendariz goes. They act like there was a wild pitch because Peter dives off the right, and then David swings the bat out the way out, and they start running back laughing. And they're saying, oh, and then I think Travis was upset. He said, oh man, I'm gonna get beamed now, and I'm gonna get hit. Thanks, Tony. All right. Well, that didn't happen, and it didn't happen, and I think we won that game, right? Was that the game when we came back late and won the last game? I think we came back and won that game. I think, yeah, we're right. But that's what it was. Tony was able to get guys to do things, and he played hard. And Tony was made the Aflac team. He made the Aflac team. He was MVP of the Aflac team game, and this he made a team where all the MVP of everybody's, I think Peter was on that team. Stephanie, you were on that team. David, you're before, right? Who else was on? Was that the same team? No, you were different.
Let's see.
Yeah. Well, anyway, this guy's on the team, but Tony was a leader and he's a baller. I mean, he just went out and got dirty, and he just played hard all the time. And he was fortunate; he won the draft, and he got paid very well. He got first-round money. He didn't get in the first round, but he got first-round money, and he went to third round with Cleveland. But he could play. He's that type of player, and those are the type of players that you want. You want to be that type of player. All right. So that's why we named Tony the Baller of the Year. And even though he's more of a modern player, but I don't think there's any other player that epitomizes that type of award. But Tony, better than Tony is, right?
All right, if you're here, please stand up. Here are the gamers. Cayo Aliviado, outfielder, St. Louis High School. Caden Keys, infielder, Alta High School. Dom De Fiesta, infielder, Sacred Heart Cathedral High School. Nick Bruno, infielder, Hemet High. Stephen Pilares, infielder, Santiago High School. 2012 graduates. Andre Real, infielder, Orange Lutheran High. Danny Donahue, infielder, Canyon Crest Academy. Rick Merchant, first baseman, Marina High School. Michael Wager, third baseman, outfielder, Shadow Ridge High. Nathan Rodriguez, catcher, infielder, La Quinta High School. 2013 graduates. Mike Angulo, pitcher, infielder, Fremont High. 2014 graduates. David Hodge, infielder, Barstow High School. Round of applause, please.
Actually, a really easy one. He's not here tonight, but it was real easy because he lives in Hawaii. It's Cayo Aliviado. Cayo is 5'3" and about 140, 150 pounds. Cayo plays the game exactly the way Tony played. Cayo, we went to Jupiter. In Jupiter, he was the best hitter. And it was funny because he comes up, he's the leadoff hitter, he's 5'2", 5'3" at the time, and everybody's coming in. They're playing shallow on him. So what does he do? He takes it to the fence. And he had one of the best tournaments I've seen in a player in Jupiter. The only other player I've ever seen have a better tournament than him in Jupiter, in the Jupiter event, was probably Chris Parmalee. Chris was the MVP of the tournament, but Cayo was an unbelievable player. I mean, played in the Hawaii Little League World Series team. He was the first baseman at the time, and when they won the first time, now he's at the University of Hawaii. He's a freshman, and this is what I can say. If Kai was 5'9", 5'10", there's no doubt in my mind he would have been a first-round pick. There's absolutely no doubt. He's going to play. He's after Jupiter. The scouts were actually even thinking about drafting, and he was only 5'2", 5'3". They were actually thinking about drafting a player that size, since that's how good he was. And I know some guys over there, they played with him, and they know talk about, Brett played with him. Travis, did you play with him in Jupiter? Did you play with him? I don't remember. But so my years are kind of all messed up. Right? Yeah, you did. You just graduated. You graduated. All right, very good player. So Kyle he's the winner of that award, and we'll make sure he gets the award there. So, all right. Okay, going to the next one.